What is going on, guys? Welcome to Eagles Postgame Live. Today we are breaking down, talking the top takeaways of the Eagles 21-20 preseason victory over the Cleveland Browns. Joining us, I'm going to put down to my man on the bottom, Ryan Reese of Philly Sports Alliance. What's going on, Ryan?
What's going on? Just loving what I'm seeing so far, and can't wait to talk about it.
Let's go. We've also got my man Eric, also from Philly Sports Alliance. What's good, Eric?
Let's go, man. Let's talk about this offensive line. Dude, getting some push. It is incredible. Just playing big boy football.
God, football's won in the trenches. I've always believed in that. And I'm pretty sure my 3-year-old daughter could run behind this Eagles offensive line. And wow, what a unbelievable performance. Even my man Andre Dillard was bringing it today. I don't even know who that guy was on TV today, but that was not Andre Dillard, because the holes on this offensive line were crazy. You had Boston Scott, you had Kenny Gainwell, my man Kenny G bringing it today. But let's lead off with the offensive line. I'll throw it to you, Ryan. What was your take on Cam Jurgens? Is he as good as Jason Kelce right now? I'm going to throw that to you right now.
I mean, obviously not, but man, are the similarities there? I mean, are they? They are just. It's astounding how much you see Kelce in Jurgens, and I mean, look at that, right? Look at number 37. He just went flying right there. Honestly, the fact of the matter is, Kelce being a little banged up, I'm not that worried about it. If he misses game one, I'm not that worried about it. Yes, obviously we want Kelce in there. He's an all-pro. He's, an Eagles Hall of Famer for sure. But, man, Jurgens is stepping the F up, and I love it. Love it.
Man. The fact that this guy has only played on the offensive line for 2 years. He was a tight end.
Yeah.
What up, Jason Peters? What's going on, Jason Peters? And he was a basketball player. But you just look at his natural athleticism, his fluidity, just his ability to just get to that second level and blow up linebackers. Man, I've never seen anything like it, especially, 2 games in. 2 games in. What's your take, Eric?
Well, there was one play where they show him pulling and going out there on a safety, and it was just like that safety had me run out there like, man, what the heck did I do wrong in my life where I am here getting blocked by Cam Jurgens? Like, that was incredible. Like, it is like, and I'm a weirdo. I love watching great offensive line play, and man, Cam Jurgens is incredible. He's blowing my mind right now.
I felt like every play he was involved somehow. Like every offensive play. Here we go. Look at my man Cam. He's out there. Boom! Get out of here.
There it is. That's the play I was talking about. Yeah.
Boom! That's fantastic, man.
Blew my man up. That was fantastic. That's where you question life choices.
Mike Jasenhouse says Cam Jurgens was a ridiculous draft pick. He's getting better every damn week. What a great pick, man. Like I said on our previous shows, the birds of the round table, like these last 2 drafts, man. Right? And you've got Jurgens, you've got Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, and then last year you got Devontae and so forth. But it's just, I love this core, this playoff contending team being built on the back of the last 2 drafts. That's what I love to see. Unlike 2017, where I was like hired assassins littered all over the place. 1-year guys,
this is showing the diversity, I think, of Howie Roseman. Like, he was able to put together a 2017 team that, like you said, hired assassins, guys who were all there at the right time in their careers to make a push for a championship. And now he's putting together a young team that this year can, like, I'm telling you, they can contend. They can make a push here. Like, this is a special group.
It really is. There's a maturity. There's something different about the vibe of this Eagles team. I don't know what it is. Eagles they've got a very young core that are playing outstanding right now. We're going to break down every single position, who won today, who lost today, what positions are we concerned about, all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you the position we're not concerned about is the offensive line. And I'll say the other thing we're not concerned about is our hat game. Our hat game is absolutely on point today.
Right.
We did not plan this day. We did not plan this. But great minds think alike. We all rocking the old Kelly Green logo. Absolutely terrific.
Yeah, you can't really see mine. Mine's blending into my green screen. But I assure you, it's Kelly Green.
That's fantastic.
All right. I'll throw it to you, Ryan. Start off with the offensive line. What's your take here? Anything you want to talk about?
Honestly, our offensive line, if there was a question, a little doubt in anyone's mind, that this isn't the best offensive line unit in the NFL, today had to do something for you. Had to switch that out, because not only do we know the starting line great, but we are so freaking deep everywhere. Everywhere. You could throw out 3 full lines of offensive line, and they would be great, because Stoutland just does such an amazing job that he gets them just in position. They are prepared at all times, and they are very, very talented, deep. I honestly, maybe in the fourth quarter, the right tackle,
I don't even know who that was.
Mr. I'm not going to be on the team, but
Mr. going to be working at Burger King next week.
Oh,
all right, that he had 2 pretty bad plays. Outside of that, there was literally nothing I could say negative about the offensive line. Our running backs were running through just canyons of just so much room. You're right. Any one of us could have ran for 5 yards a clip. It's just.
I could have at least gotten a 3.5. I mean,
I was going to say, I might go for 3. I might trip my on my own feet, but I'll fall forward for a couple. But honestly, this offensive line has me so jacked, so pumped. I just can't wait for this regular season to start, and I really envision this offense as a more passing offense, but because of how great this offensive line, and because of the limited carries, as opposed to kind of last year where we relied on it very heavy at the end of the year, we're not going to need that. We can reduce the carries, throw the ball a little more, but still get what we need to get out of the running game. And Boston Scott looked great. Gainwell looked great. Kennedy Brooks has showed a little flashes there. I am so excited for this team. The only thing I really just hope Miles Sanders stays a little healthy, and this run game, this offensive line is going to do just as good as last year.
Yeah, you had 2 guys. Oh, go ahead there. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this offensive line, I think it's a case of where iron sharpens iron. Like that second team, they look at how good that first team is playing, and they think, man, I've got to step up my game so I can be on their level. And I think it's also a case of Lane Johnson going to Andre Dillard and talking to him about things to improve his game. The veterans are stepping up. They're leaders on this offensive line, and they're bringing everybody else with them. And it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to watch how this offensive line as a unit just takes such pride in being such a top-tier group, like the whole unit.
Yeah. Well, you said iron sharpens iron, but they're also going up against a really good defensive line in practice every day.
Sure, yeah.
And you have the likes of Brandon Graham and Sweat and Cox and Hargrave, and then the new guy Jordan Davis, and I'm sure I could name them all, but again, they're iron sharpens iron, not only in that regard of going up against the competition, but also within the group of their own, and just sharing that knowledge. And Stoutland clearly just is the most unsung hero in all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
And has made this unit the best in the NFL.
I'm so glad you brought up Stout. So glad.
Yeah. The whole video of Jordan Davis blowing up Cam Jurgens went viral and everything. And Jordan Davis had to point out, like, dude, you guys don't see the number of reps where he gets the better of me in practice.
But even saying that,
beautiful to watch that. Like,
even saying that is beautiful. Like,
yeah,
that's that's that vibe you're talking about. That's that team mentality.
That's a championship vibe.
Yeah, like they were interviewing. Spadero was interviewing Milana at one point in like the third quarter, and he even said it. He was just like, "Man, we're having fun. The vibe on this team is insane." He's like, "I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it this year."
And that's what makes you show up to work every day at like 5 a.m. so you can get to practice and get working on it. Yeah.
Well, what's your gut feeling here, guys? Because Cam Jurgens, back-to-back weeks, has looked absolutely sensational. The highlight reel is out on the channel if you want to watch it. But would you sit him for the last preseason game knowing how good this guy's been, or would you give him an opportunity at right guard? Any thoughts on that?
I'd be okay with it, but I'll tell you, I also would be okay with sitting him. I feel like we've seen enough where we know what this guy is.
That's where I'm at.
It's all dependent on Kelsey at this point.
Yeah.
And what's the beauty of it all is if, he's not going to be ready for week one, which would be, devastating because, again, he's kind of got Iron Man streak going. Yeah. But I think just seeing how he's progressed in such a short amount of time and how he's able to just step in there, they may decide to, hey, Kels, like, dude, if you're not going to be back by week one, maybe don't come back till week 3. Like, take an extra couple of weeks. We got Cam in there. We're good. But on the flip side, if Kelsey is going to be back by week 1, I mean, it's not just so easy to kind of throw somebody over to right guard, but Sam Mala's been doing pretty darn good in camp. And I think all three of us have said multiple times way before training camp that right guard position was something we were going to be looking forward to. And we all had higher hopes for Jack Driscoll.
Yeah.
Clearly just wasn't into competing, I guess, because it's obviously Sam Mala's job. So I don't know if that's enough to just kind of throw him in there, but I think, at this point, it's all going to depend on Kelsey and whether or not he's going to be able to be there week 1.
I think the good thing is that we don't need to worry about the center position for a long time. That is locked down. And man, that's an incredible feeling when you have Jeff Stoutland and just Jason Kelsey taking this guy Cam Jurgens under their wing. Holy cow! That is this guy's a star. Cam Jurgens is a star in the making. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're only 2 games into the preseason, and this is where we're at. I did not expect this much from Cam Jurgens. I don't think anybody did.
No, I don't think anybody. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No one thought that highly of him because, again, I think when normal people, look at the mock drafts and yada yada yada, Cam Jurgens wasn't a name that any normal person knew. If you were diving deep, which dives, I know you certainly knew of him, as did I. I didn't.
I do too.
Yeah, and Eric, I know you do too because we're all draft nerds.
Yeah, we're total nerds. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, like I did not. I honestly was a little shocked when the pick originally came in. I thought he was more of a third rounder, but I'm so glad we grabbed him when we did because clearly he's already outplaying his pick. And I know it's preseason, and I know it's blah blah blah. It doesn't mean much, but man, like you've seen the growth. I mean, it's insane. He's going up against a pretty good, Cleveland Browns team and a pretty decent Jets front 4.
And he was going against the Jets' first line front 4.
Right, yeah, and held his own more than fine. So I'm so happy.
Yeah. This is not fake news with Cam Jurgens. He is the real deal. He's the absolute real story.
This is like a Paul Turner situation.
Yeah, exactly.
No. This guy.
By the way, speaking of Paul Turner, I know we're gonna eventually talk about him, but I can't wait to talk about Deion Kane.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Let's go on to real quick. Let's go on to Gardner Minshew. He had a very solid game. 14 of 17, 142 yards, 101.5 quarterback rating. He did almost throw a pick 6. That would have been a massive one on the goal line. there. But general, just real quick thoughts, Eric. What would you think of Gardner Minshew today? I mean, this guy is QB2. There's no question about that, right?
Oh yeah. No, he's your backup quarterback. He has solidified his spot. Anybody who wanted to stay, Stinnett might be competing with him in camp. I think that's silly talk. Like Gardner Minshew is your backup quarterback, and he's solidified at QB2. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael chimes in. Devin Allen. We will be talking about Devin Allen as well. What about you, Ryan? Real quick thoughts on Gardner Minshew.
No, I think there's been a lot of talk throughout training camp of how Minshew hasn't looked all that sharp. And, I think there was a lot of hype around undrafted QB Carson Strong. And, and we obviously saw Stinnett in the first game not look that great either. So it was like, maybe there might be something going on with our quarterbacks. Minshew put that to bed today.
I just gotta say, I think it would be hilarious if our backup quarterback had been another guy named Carson. Just saying.
Yeah, because God only knows that this town needs that crap. No, but yeah, he came in and he absolutely did his job. He absolutely showed that he was who he is, and he is our backup. And Stinnett didn't look terrible, to be perfectly honest. I am just very curious about what is going on with Carson Strong.
Thank you. Let's talk about that. I really want to talk about the Carson Strong mystery, because even you go back to all the time worst Eagles quarterbacks, by far for me is Clayton Thorson. That guy did not belong on the football field. Not one little bit. He was god awful. But even he was getting numerous snaps. Tons and tons of preseason time there. And my man Carson Strong, what the heck is going on with Carson Strong? Is he's either, like I tweeted, he's either complete garbage. The Eagles think this guy is not an NFL quarterback. They made a mistake and they're hiding him. Or on the other end, they're hiding him so he can make the practice squad and no one else snags him. Any thoughts on that?
Ooh, actually that's I hadn't really thought about that. Man, wouldn't that be something if that's what's going on? Because we really haven't heard anything about Carson Strong even in training camp much.
Well, he's been terrible. I mean, all indications is that
don't hold back, man.
It's that he has a big arm, but he's completely inaccurate, and he's not picking up the offense.
Yeah, you're right, and it's very limited information that we're getting. Obviously, because granted, he is getting limited reps and whatnot, but. Yeah, it's been very few and far between of the information that we're getting, and anything that we have gotten hasn't been positive. And then, but again, you would think you'd want to see him in actual real time, a real game to see, again, hey, maybe it's just a practice thing. Let's see what he can do in a live game. Yeah. He literally was in today's game for 2 friggin' seconds. He threw the ball one time, you got it. No offense, I don't need to see Reed Stinnett anymore. We all know what the hell Reed Stinnett is.
I'm out on Reed Stinnett.
We do not know what we have in Carson Strong. And listen, I would love for the whole, hey, we're just going to kind of stash him on the practice squad because we know we have something. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we would have heard at least some positive things coming out from somewhere. About Carson Strong, and we just haven't. So I'm really curious as to why the heck he is not out on that field throwing the ball.
Outside of this throw from Stinnett, he's shown me nothing. He's shown me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The fact that Carson Strong can't beat Reed freaking Stinnett, holy cow! Or that's kind of it's in my head. I think about that a lot, probably way too much. But you had this throw to Devin Allen. That was his first NFL catch, by the way. Congratulations,
Devin Allen.
I love my man Ross Tucker, flipping out over every little thing.
Ross Tucker is hilarious. I know a lot of people
really is.
I know a lot of people don't like him, but
I
man,
think he's
like,
hilarious.
I honestly do. He gushes over the offensive line all freaking game. Like,
And you just gotta
literally,
know
that's
that's
all
what
you
you're
can talk
getting
about.
with him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
and then he does with the whole Devin Allen thing, dude. I love it. He's such a homer, and I love it.
even like Marvin Wilson's there with an injury. He's done nothing, and he's like, "Oh, I love me some Marvin Wilson."
So he's gonna be a
good one, guy.
Right.
grinding in pain. He's like, man, I really like that guy.
All right, Anthony
Just like
chimes
that he
in.
plays offensive line. Stop.
He's not sold on Reed Sinnett. Any thoughts on? I guess Carson Strong and Reed Sinnett. Eric, any thoughts?
I mean, like,
One of them's got to make the team, right? They typically take a third quarterback at like 95% of the last 25
sure,
years.
but
Taking one.
I'll tell you, it's been kind of a trend the last few years that you only keep two quarterbacks. I mean, do you try to stash one on your practice squad like Carson Strong and just hope that both your quarterbacks stay healthy?
I would assume that Strong is going to be on the practice squad. I don't.
Yeah.
There's not. Hey, what's up, Daryl?
What's up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how Reed Sinnett is making this team.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he makes.
I
the
agree.
team.
I agree. I don't know. When you look at some other positions,
I'd rather have that.
Let's talk about some other positions because I think there are a couple wide receivers, and we just showed it just a second ago. But another kind of a big takeaway in this game was two wide receivers. Deion Kane was catching every freaking thing on the sideline. Wow, what a great game from Deion Kane. And then we just talked about Devin Allen.
We had one miss that I thought, and that's Kane, that on a play that I thought he could have made. And, you know, it's like, and those are the things that coaches are going to look at each play that you can make. Man, if you're a borderline guy, you got to make.
Yeah, if there was like one, is that can we just please just ship off Jalen Reagor for a safety or something now because you trade him and you add in a guy like Deion Kane or something like that. We're looking good, man. Even Anthony says, I like Deion Kane.
Absolutely.
Brian, what was your take on those two guys?
So, I think because of the games that Kane and Allen had today, it's going to make it really hard for the Eagles to they have to keep 6 wide receivers at this point. I mean, I just don't see how they don't. But I also think the Reagor thing is very intriguing. I think he still has some value in this league. I think if you package him up and like a fourth, or a third, again, maybe go after a safety, maybe go after Kareem Hunt. That's been a big rumor as well. Listen, I'm all for Reagor going bye-bye. And mostly, again, because I know the first 4 wide receivers on this team are real solid. We are. I can't remember a time where we had 4 wide receivers like we have now that I'm like, yeah, let's do a lot of wide receiver stuff. Like, let's do it. And I think with the game that Kane had, I think he really now is 100% in the hunt for a roster spot. 100%. Like I thought maybe beforehand. All right, yeah, he was just one of those guys. But man, he came out and he had 5 catches off of 7 targets, 66 yards. I thought he did great. That play right there that we're watching right now, he went up, he just got the ball right.
Yeah,
that is something that just is you don't see from everybody in this league, and that ability I think was going to go a long, long way. And I think right now he is right on that 6 or 7 bubble. And I think with Allen's speed alone, he had 1 ball, he had 1 touchdown. It was 55 yards. The man runs a 100-yard dash in friggin' 3 seconds. The guy's faster than fast. I don't see how this guy isn't on this team, even if in a return man type game. I would love to see both of them and Reagor shipped out, and then that be our 6. But again, there's still another preseason game to be had, and we'll see kind of who stands out in that one. But Kane and Allen really put some heat on Howie to make a decision here.
Any thoughts
And
on
how
that?
about I just want to talk about, if I can, before we got into any preseason games, the kid was it Convoy or
Kobe.
Convoy? Yeah, like he was supposed to be like the Paul Turner of this training camp, and he hasn't produced in games, and these two guys have. Like, I mean, to me, those are the guys who produced in game film are the guys.
Yeah. That's a good point. 16 people on the practice squad.
16.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point to bring
Good.
up.
Yeah. So the simple fact of the matter is what? We got to get down to 80 by Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then, basically you're throwing out of that 80, you're down to 66 after putting 16 people on the practice squad. Supposedly. So you're really only cutting 13 people, essentially.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to cut more and you're going to pick up some rando people that drop off from other teams. But still, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see, if Kane and Allen don't make this team, they're obviously 100% on the practice squad. But I would be
somebody else's team. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, or unfortunately sign with another team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's go on to our winners of today. Like, who are some winners that I think they made the roster after today? Do you guys have anybody on the front of your brain that you think should be making this roster? I'll lead off with Eric. Eric, do you have anybody that you think had a terrific performance today?
Well, I'll just say the two receivers there, that Kane and God, why is his name escaping me?
Kevin Allen?
Yeah. Sorry, guys, but yeah, Allen. Like those two guys, like to me, they made the team.
I think the safety. I think it's going to be tough. I think they still need to make moves. I still think Jalen Rieger's going to make the team by default. Unless they trade him, he's making the roster. But look at the safety position. You look at today. Tart had a couple of plays, a couple of big hits by Jaquiski Tart. You look at Andre Chachure, I believe it's pronounced. He had a nice pass deflection. He had 4 tackles. Reed Blankenship looked really solid. He made a couple of plays. So I think the safety position is still wide open. I think it's really going to come down to the wire. I am not, as you guys know, I am not on the Jaquiski Tart team. I'm more out than in when it comes to Tart. I think Reed Blankenship. I think you saw that clip of like Jonathan Gannon taking Reed Blankenship in his arms there at the end of the game. I think Reed Blankenship has something. I think he's got really good size. I like his instincts. His coverage skills need some work, but any thoughts on what we learned from the safety position? Because that's easily the most open spot on this roster.
If I can, I would just say Blankenship, he just seems to have a nose for the football. He just always finds it, whether like that's due to assignment or just him just having an instinct. He's always right around the tackle. He's right there, and to me, like that's something you look for. Like, okay, you can have your assignments and be good in different coverages. But do you have a nose for the football? Do you have an instinct to find the ball? And Blankenship seems to.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, I kind of to piggyback off of your safety thing. The new guy we just got from Seattle, I thought had a really good game as well. And I think unfortunately, well, we didn't really see much of a game from Kayvon Wallace. I think he might be out.
He's out. Reed is 6'1", and he's pretty lanky. Another guy that I thought continued to impress. It's not perfect by any means, but Josh Jobe. I think Josh Jobe is definitely on the in rather than the out. We're going to the cornerback position. I like his fit with Jonathan Gannon's defense, a zone-heavy defense where he works in close quarters, and he also has some versatility, play a little safety. He's got really good size and length as well, just like Reed Blankenship. He's just that versatile dude that just oozes potential. I think he's a really good fit on this roster. I think Josh Jobe had a solid game. Josh Jobe led the Eagles in tackles today with 7. He had a pass deflection. He was making plays, even when this Eagles defense got carved up big time. I don't know if we want to touch on the run defense because it was bad at points, especially my guy Davion Taylor.
Yeah, oh my God, dude,
Davion Taylor struggled. He was out of position nearly like the entire game. But Josh Jobe, any thoughts on Josh Jobe, guys?
I think he had a great game last week. I think he had a solid game this week as well. I had kind of mentioned him, I think, on our last roundtable. But yeah, honestly, I think it's just such a deep and busy cornerback room. But I think he's slowly, moving his way up. And, somebody like a Tay Gowan, who I was really big on and thought, when we made the trade for him from Arizona, I thought, great, this guy's going to be like a 4th or 5th, corner and make our corners super deep. He just hasn't really done much this offseason for me. I've been a little disappointed in him, to be perfectly honest. And I think with Jobe playing the way he is, I wouldn't be necessarily shocked if he beats out Gowan for a roster spot.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, isn't this just one of those cases sometimes effort beats talent? Like, Jobe is just, every time you see him, his motor just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It lasts for days. It's amazing to watch him.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's never been about Josh Jobe's talent. It's always been about, can he stay healthy? Josh Jobe has had injury issues going back to Alabama. So if that guy can stay healthy, and I love the idea of that dude, learning under James Bradbury and Darius Slay, I think there's something there. I think there's something there. I'm definitely pro Josh Jobe right now. D chimes in saying Davion Taylor had a season-ending injury with surgery to boot, so he has to work himself back. And he's been playing all training camp, correct?
He's been playing all training camp, but I know what he's talking about. Last year he had a surgery.
He kind of. I want to say he missed some of the beginning parts of this offseason because of that. So
he's been full participant in training camp.
D's point, yes, that is accurate. But listen, I just, the man has one really good ability, and he's one of the quickest linebackers, that I've seen. But unfortunately, the decision making, the intelligence on the football field, and just needing or knowing where to be, it just isn't there. Like the one touchdown run from Kelly. My gosh, he was right there. Yeah. He was right there, and he just was like, I'm going to go to the right.
He goes the wrong direction.
He goes the wrong direction. Like, if he would have went to the left, he would have blown up that play for a loss. But he went right, and it wasn't like, he just – I just don't understand why he did that, because he clearly had time to make that decision. And he went early to the right. And, again, it led to the touchdown. And I just think that's indicative of him and, his skills. Him and, somebody like Sean Bradley, man, I had real high hopes. I knew that they were going to be a bit of projects. But guess what? I think they're getting Fs on their projects.
Wait, whoa! No one talks bad about my boy Sean Bradley. No, he had a pass deflection.
I know he's a Temple. I know he's a Temple guy.
Temple tough. Let's go.
Temple up in the house. I get it. I just listen. He does nothing for me.
We're going to represent Temple here.
I thought let's just go straight to the defense. The pass rush was absolutely full today. Even Jordan Davis did not have a good game. What's his name? Josh Dobbs. Dobbs had a solid game. I agree with that. Sean Bradley will be on this roster.
I'm not saying he's not going to be on the roster. I know he will be.
I will not allow this talk about Temple at all. No. Shutting it down.
Temple tough, baby.
All right. Anyway.
All
All right. But yeah, the rush defense was absolutely terrible. Let's talk briefly about Jordan Davis. Are you worried at all? Because coming into the league, he was a guy that relied heavily on the bull rush. He was a guy that, will kind of, after multiple plays, get a little tired. He looked a little sluggish today. Is it A? He did not really impact the game whatsoever. Is the reason of that A because he wasn't playing with his teammates on the defensive line, or B, we should be concerned? I'll throw it to you, Eric. What's your take?
I mean, I don't know that it's because he wasn't playing with his teammate. Like, they talk about it like a lot during the game where they had so many of those joint practices that were kind of like game situations, and like basically playing 3 games in 4 days. Like, some of that could be the case. Maybe he's just not the NFL conditioning. Like, it's just going to be different than college, and he's going to have to learn and adjust. It's not time to push the panic button, but it could be a learning opportunity for Jordan Davis.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, it's not everybody has a great game, every game, and it's his second NFL game. Still, it's a preseason game. He's still learning. There's a reason why he wasn't the number 1 pick. There's lots of room to grow and to get better. And this was just a learning experience. I'm sure the likes of Hargrave and Cox are going to kind of sit with him and talk with him, and as well as his coaches. And just, listen, he didn't do a terrible job. He just didn't really stand out in any way. And that's, again, after what, we saw last week, it's hard not to kind of compare the 2 games and to want him to stand out and to blow, everything up and whatnot. I'm not concerned at all. He'll be fine. And again, he's going to be in a rotation for a reason. So listen, you got a little tired, rotate out. You're good, rotate in, start dominating. We'll be fine. No worried.
I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried whatsoever. He's going to look fine. Being role that nose tackle on this defense, and it's going to look even better when you've got Hargrave on another side and you've got Brandon Graham on the other side, or you've got so forth. I'm not concerned whatsoever. Jordan Davis is going to be fine. I hope no one's overreacting. I think this was just a sloppy defensive game from the jump. The Eagles could not. I mean, they broke contain every single time. It was just an ugly, ugly defensive performance, not from Jordan Davis. And to single him out is really unfair. Like, how about the Eagles linebackers shedding blocks? How about taking bad angles to the football? It was dreadful. The penalties, even some were bad. It was not a good look from the Eagles whatsoever. And it was, I am a little concerned at the depth there. Because you look, it's just preseason. But depth was an issue in week 1 against the Jets. I thought they were a little deeper there. But let's go into our player of the game. Lead us off, Ryan. Who is your player of the game? By the way, Eric, we can't pick the same player. So once Ryan picks, we can pick someone else.
Wow. Do I pick someone I know what you want? Because
it's not great.
Honestly, I was going to say Deion Kane, but I'm actually going to go Gardner Minshew because
really, wow.
Yeah, I think again there was some question marks. There was some talk about what's going on with our quarterbacks. Why hasn't Gardner Minshew? He's been playing like crap, to be perfectly honest. And I think today he came in there. He said, "Everybody, quiet down. I got this. I'm the number 2 quarterback. I can still be productive in this league. I can probably still start for a few teams in this league." Know that. And he went 14 for 17. I thought he had a great game.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Eric? Who is your player of the game?
I'll tell you what. I'll go captain of the first drive. I'll go Boston Scott.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay.
He was the dude on the first drive.
He was.
How about that the Eagles went pass with Jalen Hurts' first game in the preseason, And this one, I think they had like 22 carries in the first 2 drives for like 80 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
Ran the ball down the Browns' throats. I love that, man. That made me happy. That made me fun.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I was big in on Boston Scott. There's another guy. I'll save him in case you want to use him. But like,
I'm struggling because I know the obvious choice for me is I've got 3. I've got 3. I've got 3 left here. D chimes in. Jordan Davis should be better by year 2. As you say, the conditioning is different. No worries. He's my favorite. I want him from day 1. I think year 1 he's going to be in the running for player of the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned whatsoever. So this is one of those games, he doesn't make a flashy play, but he's still going to be impacting the game in so many ways.
And then I think, again, is also a very important takeaway. He is a D tackle, a nose tackle, whatever you want to call him, depending on what scheme we're running. Again, it's going to be running. But listen, it's not a sexy position whatsoever. It's not a high stat position. Yeah. So, his name may not be littered all over the stat sheet, but again, it's what's important, as you said, is his impact on the game. That's what we saw the first game. We saw him taking on 2 people and plugging up multiple gaps to where a running back has to adjust, where a running back has to, completely change direction. And who are you going to see right there? You're going to see Nakobe Dean. That's who you're going to see. Yeah. So, again, that is what his impact, that is what his ultimate, end game for Jordan Davis is this. And unfortunately, we're not going to see a high number of sacks. We're not even going to see probably a high number of tackles. But again, his impact is in those other small ways that will help this team immensely.
All right. So when I think of player of the game, I think of like winner of the game. Who won the most in this game? I think it's got to be Deion King. I think it's got to be Deion King. When you look at the wide receivers on this team, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, like those guys, top 4 are locks, absolute locks. Mm-hmm. Then you get to Jalen Reagor, and then you get to guys like Deion Kane, and then you get to guys like John Hightower and so forth. I think Deion Kane, he's had a really good camp. He's had, to be fair, like he's made plays throughout training camp. But to be fair, I think that guy's the biggest winner of week 2 of the preseason to cement himself maybe as wide receiver 5 or 6. So we'll see. We'll see if the Eagles make a move with Jalen Reagor. If you can find a trade partner for J-Jaw, why the frick can you not find someone for Jalen Reagor? Just make the deal, Howie. Just make the deal. And my goodness, this team will be better for it because I think Deion Kane, those hands, watching an Eagles wide receiver make a play on the ball like we saw earlier in this show, get him on this roster. Get him on. That's the thing you need with Jalen Hurts is guys that can make plays like the shoulder catches like that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Reagor gets traded, I think Dean is in the driver's seat for that 5th or 6th spot, depending on what they do, with like Kobe or Allen, depending on their kind of run game or return game, I should say. I'm sorry. Abilities. That'll obviously factor in, but I think Deion King really has himself set up to sneak that last position. And if Reagor is gone, if he gets traded, then I mean he has no, it's his if he wants it, honestly.
My guy Bob says, guys, thoughts on Jalen Hurts. My quick thoughts on Jalen Hurts is I think he's a quality NFL quarterback. I think it's 50-50 right now whether or not he's a franchise quarterback moving forward. I think he's got a long career in the NFL. It's just a matter of what he can do, taking that next steps inside the pocket, staying inside the pocket when it's clean, hitting guys in stride, seeing the field, going through his progressions, hitting those checkdowns. He was dead last in the NFL last year in checkdowns. And can he move the ball into that intermediate area of the field. And I think A.J. Brown's going to unlock a shit ton of that for him this season. I think Dallas Goedert is on his way to having an unbelievable year, and even more so Devontae Smith. What A.J. Brown's going to do for Jalen Hurts is unbelievable. It's going to open the field up in so many different ways for Jalen Hurts this year. And you look at the running game. You look at the running game last year. The Eagles were run at the second half of last year. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. I think there's so many weapons on offense or at wide receiver and tight end that there's going to be a trickle-down effect where I don't know how you stop this team. And you look at the joint practices against the Cleveland Browns. This offense ran straight through the Cleveland Browns, which is a top 5 defense. So my thoughts on Hurts is the jury is still out, but things are looking good for Jalen Hurts. Any quick thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
Eric, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Look, he's got to give his receivers chances to win those one-on-one battles, and he's got to trust those receivers to make those plays. Having A.J. Brown and another year with Devontae Smith, I think he will trust them and put the ball out there. Like a lot of times, that's what you count on your quarterback to do. Can he just put it out there and let his guys go make a play? And a lot of when they talk about precision passes and stuff, a lot of that is just trusting your receiver to beat the DB. Yeah. And I think another year in the league is only going to do more to build that confidence. And with having, A.J. Brown, his best buddy since he was 6 years old or whatever they're saying, I think that just helps him. I think he'll be fine. I have no concerns right now.
I think the good news about Jalen Hurts is all the pieces of the puzzle are on the table for Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. It's all on him to prove everybody that he is the guy moving forward. And Bob brings up the point, what would you do with that contract coming up? And that is everything. That is everything that I'm concerned about, because what is his potential in the NFL? What is his ceiling in the NFL? Because you look at once he gets that next contract, things change big time. So for me, my issue is I am absolutely head over heels over this quarterback class in 2023. I've done a breakdown on it. There's still obviously a lot of.
But the beautiful thing is right now you can't do anything.
But right now we're not gonna. We don't know, Bob. We don't know yet, Bob. But the truth of the matter is,
right now they can't do anything. Let it play out, and you'll know at the end of the season what you want to do with them.
I think by week 10 we'll know. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. No. I listen. I am. I'm pretty sure I'm in the same mindset as everybody here. I think we've seen Jalen Hurts play at a high level. I think we know that he has that ability. It's doing it consistently. It's growing. It's making those smart decisions. And listen, I think so far this offseason, from what we've seen, I think he is on his way to getting to a point where we can trust him to be the franchise quarterback. Obviously, I'm rooting like hell that he is the franchise quarterback. I think every Eagles fan technically should. I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody would actively hope or root against him not to be the guy so that we could waste draft picks to get another quarterback. Easiest thing, the best thing for the Eagles is for Jalen Hurts to come out there, throw 4,000 yards, throw 35 touchdowns, run for 1,000 yards, score another 10, and win a playoff game or two.
Hey,
okay, let's use the. No, yeah, I know, right? Let's use those 2 draft picks on getting even better as a team. That should be our goal as fans, personally. But I'm with you. I need to see more. I need to see the consistency. I need to see those brief moments turn into, games, quarters. Whatever it may be, a quarter of the season where he stretches out that elite play, those elite pass plays, or whatever he ends up doing. Push it out, extend it, show me that you can do it for long periods of time, consistently. That's all I need. I just need a little movement, and I need the consistency to keep going. And personally, with everything that he has, all of the weapons with A.J. Brown. Everything that we're doing as a team, I think he is set up to absolutely have an amazing season. And, if he just doesn't, well, then we'll know. We gave him everything he needed, and if he didn't come through, then we'll know. 100% we'll know. So, unfortunately, I'm with you guys. I'm just hopeful that he turns it into something. And just for the record, Bob, Cowboy fans aren't laughing at us. We're laughing at back.
Yeah, I'm not scared of the Cowboys whatsoever.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Dude,
the Eagles are on. The Eagles are on. We've got
Washington than Dallas this year.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with Dallas. D says if Hurts, combines for 4,200 yards, and he's going to get that contract. His pick for MVP, going to the playoffs for. My goodness.
Okay. Let's roll, man.
If Jalen Hurts gets 4,200 total yards, which is definitely realistic, I think that's absolutely.
I think he actually can. I think he can easily get that. Honestly,
yeah.
One of our buddies, Mitch, he posted something about like 49, like just under 5,000 yards combined. I was like, all right, that's pretty lofty. But again, I don't necessarily think it's out of the realm because I know that we're going to be passing the ball a lot more. So. If he gets to 4,000 passing yards, would I be shocked? Absolutely not. And how many rushing yards did he have last year? 900 something?
Yeah, about that.
So if he keeps that consistent, that's 4,900 yards right there. Like, it's not insane to think that that's a possibility. But everything that we just talked about needs to happen. It's the progression. It's the looking down the field, going to read number 2, read number 3. It's not running out of the pocket every 2 seconds. It's staying in there. It's trusting your guys.
Discipline to your progression.
Right. And I think if he does that, then yes, I absolutely think he can get to 45 to 48, whatever number you want to put out there. I think it's definitely within reach.
And to be fair, those are MVP numbers.
They are, right? Those are MVP numbers.
That's nuts. Herbert had like 5,000 last year. Like, if he's putting up 5,000 yards, he's in MVP conversation.
Easily. But again...
And if the Eagles are winning 11, 12 games, he's in MVP conversation.
Well, and look at the talent around him. What are they doing?
Yeah. I mean, would it shock you if you got 4,800 total yards?
No.
I don't think it's past that point where you're like, well, there's no.
It's not unreasonable to think that that's
not unreasonable. I'm just saying he's going to have an amazing season, yes.
Sure.
But again, I would not be shocked if he got to that point. But I also wouldn't be shocked if he didn't hit 4,000 total. So,
but the question is like, is he the quarterback you win because of, or is he the quarterback you build around? Like when you're talking like top-notch money, when we're talking about like top-paid quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, the top of the top, like, is he in that category?
No,
not now. It's not. He produces like what they're saying. Like, if he does that 4,000 yards, yes. But if he's putting up
that many yards, like that's where the question begins.
right.
So. It's
as we sit right now on this date, August the 21st, I would say no. He's not.
No. And I don't necessarily see him getting to that point, but I think we have set him up in the best way possible for him if he continues to improve on the things that I think we've all know and that he needs to improve upon. If he can do that, even small incremental improvements with the improvements we already have on this team, I think that we're going to see really good results, not only stat-wise, but in wins.
I think the most exciting...
It's the most important stat.
Yeah.
I think the most exciting thing is you have Jordan Mailata, you have Landon Dickerson, you have Cam Jurgens, you have the backbones of the line, and you have Nick Sirianni, who has blown all expectations out of the water, continues to impress. You've got the scheme, you've got the offense, you've got the culture in place. So whatever happens, it's win-win, to be honest. It's a win-win situation. And you guys know how much I love this upcoming quarterback class. I think there's a handful of guys that can step right in. So it's all good. It's all good for the Eagles.
And that's the beautiful thing. They have set themselves up to where if Jalen isn't the guy, they can go get the guy.
Yep. Yeah. And have the pieces for that guy to come in and have an amazing start to a career where you have the left side of a line who is all younger than young, who are just amazing. You have obviously Cam Jurgens a part of that, who who knows when he's going to officially take over for Kelsey whenever he decides to step away. But we've already seen him looking pretty darn good. So you basically have 3/5 of an offensive line that's like 23 years old that could be dominating your left side for the next 10, 15 years. Who knows?
I feel like Jason Kelsey should be, step right into like a front office role of scouting.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like
100%.
Marketing manager. Doesn't matter.
Something. Anything. Yeah. Give him the Deuce Staley treatment. Like just give him something. Yeah. And he's gonna find himself somewhere. Oh, I mean, he's been probably taking notes from Jeff Stoutland, and that was my other player of the game, winner of the game was Jeff Stoutland. What this Eagles offensive line did against Cleveland was laughable. It was absolutely laughable. Every single run, every single time they went to the ground, that push from the offensive line was unbelievable. And I don't know who possessed Andre Dillard, but that was probably the best I've seen him play with an Eagles jersey. That was nuts. And we're talking about Andre freaking Dillard. So that was great. So we have a comment. A.J. Brown is the Eagles' biggest roster upgrade. I fully agree. Hurts has zero excuses. The issue is there may be 5 great quarterbacks, what I just said. I fully agree with that. It's a really good class. Even the next year, well, no, that won't be the Manning draft. Never mind, I take that back. Manning is a few years.
The following year, 24.
Before we wrap it up, did anybody lose today? Does anybody have losers of the day, roster wise, moving forward? Any losers?
Maybe Rieger.
I guess.
He had a couple drops.
I mean, pretty much everybody was out on him anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, he's already a pretty big loser, so I don't know how much more you can.
Hurts didn't trust his weapons last year because Rieger was a starter. That is something wild to think about. Jalen Hurts can be that guy. He has the talent to be that guy. Problem is Jalen Hurts doesn't play to his full potential. Arctic Values, thanks for joining Arctic Values. We won't get 4,000 yards from Hurts, and we don't need those. 2,500 yards passing, 800 yards rushing.
No. 2,500 yards passing? Come on.
Pound the over on that one. All right.
Seriously, can you place that bet on DraftKings?
Can I put my house on that bet? Yeah.
All right. Losers of the day. Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon probably.
Yeah, he's
not having the best of days here heading to the locker room. I'm sure Jonathan Gannon has a lot to
being a local guy there in Cleveland.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, right?
I heard that one more damn time during the broadcast.
Oh, God, right? He went back to his high school. That's never happened before. Oh, my God. Come on. I know it's preseason.
Nobody cares.
I know it's preseason. I know you don't have a lot to talk about, but, good Lord. You mentioned it 8 times on air. I have to hear that stupid high school name again. God.
That's so funny.
Maybe that's why people hate Ross Tucker.
No, the best one was last week against the Jets when he was praising the wave in the stadium, which is by far the worst thing in all of sports.
1970 called. They want their wave back. Nobody. The wave is so dumb.
I gotta tell you, they were spending way too much time with Dave Spinero. It was every 2 seconds I go back to him. Kelsey was messing with him with the helmet on, and then he was doing this. He was, it was like, all right, stop, please. I get it. I know there's not a lot to talk about, but good Lord.
Spuds was out there like doing meditation and downward dog, and I don't even know.
Doing yoga. There was like one of the I don't know, he wasn't a referee, but like lines person with
he stiff arms the guy.
Walked in and shot. He was like, look it out. It was great.
D says AJ isn't the biggest upgrade. Upgrade happened on defense and offense. We're better because of last year's draft. One person can upgrade a team. It's the drafting. I don't know about that. I don't know about. I agree and disagree. Like you look at Deshaun Jackson, like his presence on the field did so much against opposing defenses. I think there's going to be a similar impact for AJ Brown. AJ Brown can take the top off of defense. He can be that safety blanket for Jalen Hurts, especially on third down. He's going to open up a ton for Devontae going up against the CB2s and the slot defenders of the world. I think just like Deshaun Jackson did for the Eagles offense, I think A.J. Brown is in that same tier. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Listen, A.J. Brown is absolutely the best upgrade of this offseason. Yes, they had a great draft. Yes, we got Jordan Davis, we got Nakobe Dean, Cam Jurgens, I'll even Calcaterra. Listen,
what?
A.J. Brown is a star in this league, and we acquired a star. And anytime that you can do that, it absolutely has to be the biggest impact on your team, especially on a position that we have not had any stars in quite some time. We also have a very young Devontae Smith, who, with conjunction with A.J. Brown, is going to take over as the best tandem in football. And honestly, I cannot wait for it. I don't know how you can't say it's the biggest upgrade this offseason, because we have been complaining about wide receivers as Eagles fans for the last God knows how many years. The J.J. Arcega-Whiteside,
Whoa.
The whatever.
Just you. Greg Ward is amazing. He's elite tier.
Okay. Yes, that's my dude. Yes, thank you.
I'm just gonna walk off. Honestly, this Greg Ward obsession. The fact of the matter is, and you're literally proving my point. Greg Ward was our best wide receiver 2 years ago. 2. And now he's like 8th on the depth chart.
Yeah, now there's no way he's making
There's no way in hell this dude's making the team. Yeah. In fact, Deion King just said, I'm going to pack your bags, Greg. You're out, buddy.
That was sarcasm.
I know. But you have to be excited about this wide receiver group now.
So you're not a Greg Ward guy?
The best 1, 2, 3, 4 that we have had in decades.
Yeah,
decades.
It's not even close. This might go. I think this could be one of the best we've ever seen. That's how.
I mean, come on. How many years did we go through? Todd Pinkston and Nay Brown and
James Thrash.
Thrash, right? Like, come on, man. We have had some dark times at wide receiver.
Todd Pinkston. Come on, the legend.
We already made a point about Mike Quick and Harold Carmichael being on the same roster. You know, it was Quick's rookie year and Carmichael's final year. He said that is as far back as you have to go to find a receiving team.
Right, you have one receiver who is on their way out, and one receiver hasn't established himself. We now have an established receiver, and then we have a young receiver that is primed to break out in such a huge way.
Take that next step.
That next step. And then the fact of the matter is you have one of the fastest wide receivers in the league at number 3. And then you have a very, very reliable pass catcher at number 4. I cannot stop gushing over this wide receiver, room. And honestly, whoever's 5 and 6, it's inconsequential. But let's go. Let's freaking go. But Rager can go, by the way.
Yeah, Rager, just keep going. Yeah.
Do we go from the bottom wide receiver core to a top 5 recruit?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that that Sunday in November when Fox finally catches on that the Eagles have this great receiving core and they do this nice special in their pregame show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ross Tucker is going to be talking about all the
And Ross Tucker will talk about the great offensive line. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, I'll turn it into the offensive line talk. Well, the reason why the wide receivers are so good, those offensive line.
Offensive line. Cam Jurgens is the reason why AJ Brown's always open, guys.
Anthony says, I'm worried that AJ Brown and Devontae will get frustrated because Jalen can't get them the ball, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it happen.
We'll find out. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about either, but it's definitely going to happen. Anthony says, I would keep Greg Ward because he can play quarterback and wide receiver.
Come on, dude. Get out of here with that. Come on.
That's just silly talk.
Come on. Get out of here.
All right. I did have a loser. Oh, shoot. Who was the loser of the week? The loser of the week, or loser of the game. What about Grant Calcaterra? The dude came back to practice. He didn't have a single. Did he play? Because he didn't have a single target.
I didn't see him. I didn't hear his name. I may have walked away from the TV at one point. That might have been the only time they mentioned it, but I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah. The reason I say that is Noah Togiai has had a very solid camp. He's been making some plays. Sure. So Grant Calcaterra is healthy, and I don't see him on the box score. I have to look at it deeper. But I didn't see anything on Grant Calcaterra.
Yeah, I didn't see him play. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to double check because I know they they track the plays and whatnot. So I'll have to see if he even got on the field because I certainly don't remember hearing it.
By the way, Anthony, I appreciate the Greg Ward stan comments. I love Greg Ward. He's one of my favorites, low key favorites, and it's
I have the only Greg Ward jersey purchased.
Well, listen, just because your last name happens.
It's a different era. It's a different era in Eagles football, man. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
All right, we are an hour and 6 into this post-game show. It's time to wrap it up. I'll throw it to you, Eric. Is any final thoughts on today's game and plugs, man? It's all you.
Hey, look, man, this was big boy football. This was offensive line winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. You and I talked about it. All of us have talked about how games are won at the line of scrimmage, and that's my biggest takeaway. Games are won at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles were winning at the line of scrimmage. And I'll plug our Football Smack Talk show.
There it is.
Nice.
There it is. From where? What's that called?
It's the Football Smack Talk show. What did I say? Did I say something different the first time?
No, you were good. Okay. I thought you were going to throw it down.
Hey, absolutely. Ryan, take it away. Please save me. I'm drowning here.
You know what I'm dealing with, bro? Come on. Listen. The Football Smack Talk show is on Philly Sports Alliance every Mondays at 6 o'clock. You can check out that guy up there and myself talking about birds, but we got plenty of other shows on the Philly Sports Alliance. We got baseball, basketball, wrestling, you name it, we got it. So check us out. And also, while you're on our Facebook, check it out. You can check out all of the TPL shows that stream live there as well. So check out all of us on Facebook. And then, right now, the only thing I'm really plugging is Philly Sports Trips. We're all taking a big old bus. In fact, we're taking about 20 buses down to DC to welcome Carson back to the NFC East. Week 3, September 25th. Go on to phillysportstrips.com. Select trips, select DC. Sign yourself up. It's $325. It's charter bus. It's all you can drink, all you can eat. It's going to be amazing.
I think I need to jump on that bus. Is there a spotlight?
You absolutely should. Yeah,
you're welcome, man.
All you got to do is when you go on there, just mention Philly Sports Alliance. You get on our personal bus. We're going to have an amazing bus ride down there. Let me tell you, I got some things planned. So cannot wait. Sign up, join us, and let's go to DC and take over Lincoln Financial Field South.
I think I'm in. Do it. All right. So right after this, I'm going to sit my ass on the couch and watch some Andrew Painter. That's about what I'm doing.
Nice.
I'm really excited.
That's your plugging your own relaxation.
Yeah. No. All right. So for real, I'm doing a party of Game of Thrones starting at 9 o'clock. The House of the Dragon, the new Game of Thrones show, starts tonight.
Right.
And words cannot explain how excited. My first ever live reaction show was the Game of Thrones finale. So we're going full circle here of that. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited for House of the Dragon. You can expect all the Eagles content here. Tomorrow night, I've got my man Austin Krell and I were now down to our number 6 most important Sixer to the 2022-23 season. That'll be at 8:30. Then 9 o'clock will be Party on Broad with me and Rob. Just breaking down the Eagles game, our top takeaways even more so. And of course, you can expect my top 5 players to watch for next week, which will be against the Dolphins, I think. That will evolve. So I've been doing these top 5 videos of players to watch. That will evolve into top matchups to watch. So I've already done. I'm already like week 4 in. Like I've already like of all my notes. I'm already week 4 everything. So those will be just like short videos, like 5 to 10 minute videos, and things like that. So you can expect all the highlight reels from what we just saw, all that kind of stuff as well. That basically is it. I can't think of anything else. So that's where we're at. She-Hulk was okay. I was not the biggest fan of She-Hulk.
Actually, I actually kind of liked it because again, I'm a fan of like different and clearly the whole fourth wall like thing. I think it's I don't know. People don't always like it, but I think it works. Obviously, it stays in line with the comics. But again, first episodes are always tough.
Yeah,
tough. So I'm looking forward to Thursday's episode, and hopefully it just kind of builds on it, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Did you know this? That
watch Game of Thrones from the beginning because I haven't seen a single episode, and I just want to constantly post. Has anybody seen this? Wow, it's amazing! I've never.
Well, I know you have HBO, so you can go back and watch.
Yeah, no, that's my plan. I want to go back and watch Game of Thrones from the beginning and watch the whole thing now.
You should.
Just watch the first 7 seasons.
Oh, is that all? Okay.
You're in for some of the best TV of all time.
Right,
I mean, that's like my biggest regret. Like when we do these live reaction videos, and as we've been doing for the last few years here, my biggest is like not starting from the beginning with Game of Thrones, because I can't even imagine what that would have been like real time. Reacting to that every single week, like it would have been insane.
So I literally used to do, and it wasn't like a live one because again, I don't think we did the video portion. And this was going way back. I used to do a lot like a Lost recap show.
Oh man, the best.
Lost was actually on the air and stuff. So it was a similar idea. It was audio only. And God, I would never want to uncover those shows and listen to them again.
Oh man, I would love to go back and find one of those.
They are probably awful.
So bad. Oh no, by no means. Like no one go look back at that review because my first review ever was so bad. And I remember it vividly. I was so nervous because I knew I was live, and I was like, I had so many notes. Yeah, that was a different email. By the way, yes, everybody likes Game of Thrones.
Yeah, seriously.
And I got you on Twitter. Thanks for watching, D.
Love it. Thanks, D.
All right, we are wrapping it up here. It's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, my man Ryan Reese, my man Eric. Go check out Philly Sports Alliance. Amazing content over there. Philly Sports Alliance on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you find your podcasts. It's all the above. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We're also streaming on Edge of Philly Sports. Go check them out on Facebook as well. Amazing people as well. Tons of collaborations in the near future. And then that's about it. I don't want to plug myself at all. He is Eric at Eric Ward 81580. Gotta get rid of those numbers, man. Gotta get rid of those numbers. And then we've got. Okay, that's fair.
That's all it is. It's my birthday.
He only does it so he can remember his birthday.
I'm getting old. Like I gotta remember it somehow.
Right.
And then my man Ryan Reese, go check out Philly Sports Alliance on Twitter, at Philly Sports PSA. For Eric, for myself, for Ryan, stay awesome, everyone. See you on the next post game. See ya.